as far as fusions in Raid Shadow Legends go, Under Priest Brogni is one of those ones that will go down in history as one of the best or good champions that was gotten from a fusion. So during the fusion, everybody was heading strong for him because they knew this champion will change the game. And we didn't quite understand his mechanics then until finally he was released into the game, when we finally fused him and we saw the amount of places you can use him, the kind of damage you can do, the amount of safety you can give to your teams and all that. So he's a champion that I'm extremely proud of, that you find in most of my teams, whether it's Doom Tower, whether it's faction wars, anywhere, dungeons even, you can use him. Anywhere you can use this champion. He's a dwarf legendary champion, so to obtain him through a fusion is awesome. If you're new to the game, you can also pull this champion through a shard. If you're watching this video, you probably have a Brogni and you're looking to build him. So I'll talk about his skills first before you go into his artifacts, how I built mine, and finally I'll maybe do some tests if we still have time to show you where I used him. All right, the first thing you should know, that this champion can be used as a tanky champion to create a shield for your allies, and that is this skill right here, the A3. That's the first one a lot of people build him for. He places a block debuff buff, the one where when he places it, nobody can place any debuff on you, and then a 50% increase attack. That's always useful. Also places shield buff on all allies for 2 turns, equal to 30% of this champion's max HP. So he's a champion that will place shield based on how much HP he has. So 30% of his HP, if you can build him to 100k HP, imagine 30k HP extra on your allies. So that's what he can bring to the team, shield. But there's something you should know about this champion. It's not just a shield that could be broken or removed or any. His shield is special. His shield cannot be removed. That's not all. Whenever his shield is hit or broken or whatever on the allies, it will heal them. Whatever damage is being done to, I think it's a passive, right? Yeah. Whenever an ally under shield buff is attacked, reflect 25% of the damage inflicted back to the, inflicted on the shield back to the attacker. Also heals the ally by 25% of the damage inflicted on the shield. So he's not just putting the shield that will keep you alive. That shield also does damage to the enemy. That shield also heals your allies. So it's not just a simple champion that you put shield on. And no, he's special. So besides this shield that he places from the A3, a lot of people also can put a shield set on him because of the amount of HP he has. Usually we'll look for champions who have a high amount of HP to put shield set on, because the shield set in raid is a percentage of the HP of the champion who is currently having it. We'll check out that artifact when we show his possible artifacts that you can build him with. So that's the main thing I use him for, this ability, the A3. Now that would mean my build will be high on HP, will be maybe fast enough to place this shield that I'm talking about and all that. So that's what I will focus on. You see it in my build. So now there are some players who will focus on the A2. If you're kind of focusing on the A2 for your Brogni, this A2 does a lot of damage. So it attacks all enemies, has a 75% chance of removing 1 random buff on all enemies. It also removes 1 random debuff from your allies also. So increases the value of shield buff on all allies by 30% of the damage inflicted. So a lot of people build this skill because it is based on attack. That means they will pump some attack into Brogni and maybe crit rate and crit damage. The more damage he can do, the more value of the shield he can apply. So remember, the shield he has already applied. So if he does a lot of damage, he will apply 30% extra, 30% on all allies by 30% of the damage inflicted. So if he does, let's say 100k damage, he will put an additional 30k increase on the shield he has already placed. I wonder if he is not placing the shield, if he can increase other shields also. I doubt. I think it's only his shield that he places that he can actually increase with this A2. So I didn't build my Brogni to do much damage with this A2. So I didn't have any attack stats on him. That's what I mean. I didn't pump crit rate on him. I didn't pump crit damage on him because I don't want this skill to, overshadow the HP that I'm trying to reach. But if you can put HP on this champion and also have attack on this champion, a balance of the two is awesome. I decided to go one way, or you can decide to go the middle way, have a balance of both attack and HP. Alright, on the A1, he attacks one enemy, has a 45% chance of placing HP burn debuff for 2 turns. That's a low chance. Even if I've booked it, it goes up to 60% chance. I don't see this landing a lot. Most likely because I didn't build my Brogni with enough high accuracy or something. So if you do have accuracy on him, he will land this HP burn most of the time. Alright, I've read passive, I read his entire skills, his aura, his resist in Doom Tower by 60, so increases resist in Doom Tower. So he was released when we were trying to fight the Doom Tower bosses, try to get to know them, find mechanics on how to beat them. I think that's when this champion was released, and with a bunch of other champions who also had Doom Tower auras. So he seemed like a champion that is specifically for the Doom Tower, but no, he functions the same way in every part of the game. I see him a lot also in defense arena. That's also another place where I use him. So let's quickly take a look at my artifacts, how I built my Brogni. Right there, you can see I didn't use sets. I didn't use sets. That's the first thing you should know about Raid Shadow Legends. If you have good artifact sets that will give you the stats that you need, use it. But if you don't have enough good artifact sets that they're not giving you high speed or they're not giving you high HP, you don't necessarily have to obey the law of using sets. So I think the only set you can find there is Resistance. Resistance is a 2-piece set, right? Yes, that's a 2-piece set, and speed. But when I was talking about sets, I mean a set like this one called Stalwart. This is the set that a lot of people use on Brogni, especially if you're going to be using it for the clan boss or for Doom Tower or for the arena, because it means he will take 30% less damage, and the longer you can keep him alive, the more he can turn around to his skill and place that shield again or increase the shield again. So if he's in the team, it just makes it extremely difficult to kill the allies. That's what I think. So a lot of people put Stalwart set on him to keep him alive, but because once Brogni is targeted and is dead, then your other allies who are squishy don't have protection of shield and other stuff on them. So that's why people feel like Stalwart set is one of the best one you can put on Brogni. And I'll tell you the truth, I still have this Stalwart set because my original Brogni build was in Stalwart set. So now that I no longer need Brogni for the clan boss, that's why I currently do not have him in Stalwart set. I decided to take him out of Stalwart because I found a build that gave me a higher amount of HP and a higher amount of speed. So my total stat for this build you're currently looking at is kind of high in terms of what I built it for. I built it for the Doom Tower hard. I decided to talk about Brogni today because of the series I'm doing on my champions that I'm currently using in the game. I typed the name Brogni into my YouTube and it said no results found, and it's a champion that I use almost every day, so I thought I'd put him out today. And my build shows that it's a high resistance build of 436. That's one thing that I try to aim for. It's not a build that I wanted 100k HP on or 130k HP or 120 whatever. It's a build that I wanted high resistance on. That's why I see me using that 2-piece resistance set. And you think resistance is only for the arena? No. With this amount of resistance, Brogni in the arena can also not be debuffed. So when I take him to the arena for my Go Second team, he's one of the champions who has no debuff on him, while the others might take debuff. Because the idea is if he can clear their debuffs or place shield on them and they don't take that much damage. And check out his speed right there, 272. That's almost a speed of a speed booster of a Go Second, a champion that goes second after Abita. So he goes second after Abita. Well, I don't usually pair him with Abita. That's my Go Second team. But the idea is if Brogni is on the team with other champions that are tanky, like Osoga and all that. If once he goes and places that shield, good luck trying to kill them. That's what I was trying to go for. And if you cannot debuff him, you cannot stun him, you cannot put him to sleep, you cannot, with this amount of high resistance, you have a hard time killing my team in the arena. But I didn't build it for arena, it just happened to work for arena. I built this for Doom Tower. So if you're not currently pushing Doom Tower hard, you might not need to build your Brogni in resistance at all. I would recommend you put this resistance in other places, maybe in accuracy or maybe in defense or HP. Push it to 80k, 100k HP. So if I didn't want resistance right here, I could have gotten easily 100k or more HP on Brogni and even upped this defense a little bit. So the speed is awesome, the speed is nice and really useful. So that's the total stat. I'm extremely proud of this Brogni build. That's why you see me highlighting it. Below in the comments, if your Brogni has a different build or if you have something similar to mine, I'd like to know why you built yours the way you did. Even if you don't show me the screenshot of your stats or whatever, I'd like to know where you use him and let me know how you built your Brogni. So maybe I'll consider that in the future. Without going further, let's check out the masteries. Now, masteries for Brogni can be relative depending on whether you want him to just do damage or have more HP. But one thing I see everybody building Brogni with is the support tree that increases the max HP by an additional 810, especially because they need that additional HP. So because it also does some healing, you want this to, it's essential that you have this increased value of shield buff by 5%. So those are the main ones I think a lot of people will use. If you don't care about damage on Brogni, you might want to get this one that boosts his meter really fast, so he can place that shield up again. But if you're using Brogni for the what do you call it, clan boss, you might want to go towards, he was changed right now, right? It's not Brogni, I think it's War Master. I forgot which I was using for clan boss, but I know this one can also a 3-hitter. I think this is what they use for clan boss. I forget, because I thought he was changed after the patch. This one no longer worked. War Master no longer worked, but this will work for the A1. Why this one works for his shield that does damage when the clan boss hits your team. So I think Giant Slayer still works, because that's my Brogni build. If on the defense tree, I don't think there's anything he benefits from the defense tree. To be honest, there's nothing. Even counter attack doesn't benefit him from the defense tree. Maybe you want him to go to bulwark, so he sucks in more damage from your allies. Maybe if you have him in stalwart and he's taking less damage from AoE hits, you want him to take extra damage. That's something that you might want to go for if you want a go second team. But my Brogni does damage. He can do up to 30k. So it's not a Brogni that does 5k, 10k. No, he can do up to 30k. Sometimes nukes those squishy champions like Skull Crown and what's his name now, Foley, those champions that are built with 20k or 30k HP, he can actually take them down. So that's my masteries. Always recommend you check out other masteries out there before you choose one. This is just something I also saw when I was trying to build him a long time ago. All right, now to the main event. Let's see how Brogni works. The first place I want to try this champion is the arena, because I feel like that's where he will actually see some competition in terms of the resist and all that. Hopefully we don't come against teams that are extremely hard to beat, but the idea is to make it extremely difficult for your team to kill me. So like I said, it's a go second team like this, and the idea I got from this one is yesterday when I talked about this Minaya and Corona team. If you've not seen this video, I'll pin it below above right here. Check out that tanky build, a go second team. So that's why I decided to, somebody I think messaged me to see my Brogni build. That's why I decided to put it in a video format. All right, let's see if he can actually do his job of, one, resisting that lockout, and two, protecting all these other champions right there. We know Osoga can do her protection, but he's supposed to do the shield also. So that's why I have him in a team like this. Hopefully we don't get nuked, because he's 70k HP, and Thunder and all those big champions can still take him down in one hit. Alright, I'm trying not to get nuked by Thunder. I let her counter attack. Oh, this is a weak Thunder. So I'm not scared. Right there, you can see that everybody got some decreased attack, lockout, stun. Check out Brogni, nothing. So that's why I built him with this high amount of resistance, because if he got debuffed in terms of got stunned or something, or got locked out, I will not be able to do this shield to protect this entire team right now. So I built my Brogni, this is a perfect example of how I built him to do this, and that's it. So with this now, this team can go on and on and on, or maybe for 2 turns, and they'll be totally protected and heal whatever damage has been done to them, while whoever is attacking them right now will take some damage back. So let's watch how it goes. He can also remove the debuffs on us, or even increase the shield. If he takes a turn right now, he will increase the shield. Let's see. He grew the shield. I think I better kill Abita so she doesn't revive them. Ooh, that's a lot of damage. Damn. I didn't know his A2 can do that amount of damage. So that shows you perfectly what Brogni is there for the arena, and it works the same way for Doom Tower. I don't want to make a Doom Tower run that would take too long. You know how Doom Tower is in 3 stages. So, but that's how it works for higher levels of Doom Tower. Once we go in there and we take a turn, he will place that shield immediately and keep the entire team alive. So I'm not going to do the run. I'll just show you the team that can maybe make it happen. So for Doom Tower, I mostly maybe might use the Arbiter. So if Arbiter goes first and Brogni goes second. But if Arbiter is too squishy, there are some teams where you don't even want to bring an Arbiter. You want all tanky teams right there. So that's where I think this team will also serve me. But I don't necessarily need to use a speed booster or a defense aura. I'll have Brogni in the lead. So I think sometimes this is I don't know, where is the team? I don't have any preset for that save, or this one. Yes, this is a tanky team. When I come against some crazy high level Doom Tower stages that I cannot beat, I put this in there, walk away, and I come back and it's done. With the amount of healing Brogni is doing, with Seal the Drake reviving whoever goes down, decreased defense out there, Osoga keeping us alive, Brogni is my go second team. If I bring this to the arena, it will be extremely difficult to beat, but the arena is not it's not one I want to bring in this dude who does HP burn. He's there for the damage also. I'm not going to do the Doom Tower run, so don't make this one too long. If you pull a Brogni and you're still trying to beat high levels of the dungeons, he will help you, but that's an extremely slow way to go through the dungeon. So I wouldn't recommend Brogni for Spider. I wouldn't recommend Brogni for Dragon. It can be done. It can keep your team alive, but I'm saying that would be like adding somebody who is not doing as much damage. But if your Brogni is built with attack, high crit rate and high crit damage, it doesn't have as high resist like mine, sure, he can do that A2 and totally nuke the entire wave for this, but he doesn't bring much to the Spider itself except that HP bomb. So I didn't build my Brogni for damage, so maybe in the future someday we might do that. So that's my Brogni build, and that's the best place I use him right now. In 3v3 arena also, if I go to my 3v3 team, you will see him as my defense team right here for team 2. So it's basically the same team that you just saw fight this other battle. So everybody can be locked out, everybody can be debuffed, but hopefully with Osoga, they all don't just get nuked one time. That's why he would then place the shield and keep them alive. Let's not make this one too long. If you're gonna build your Brogni with some artifact sets, make sure that those artifact sets have a good and high amount of HP. But if you're going offset like I did, in terms of the 4-piece set. Went 2 sets, 2 sets, and even have, why do I even have this one right here? Is because it's resist, right? Yes, I think it's a resistance chest with double speed and accuracy. That's why it's offset right here. Hopefully in the future, when I revise this build, I can refer back to this video to see the differences. And if this helps you build your Brogni or teach you something about how else you've not been using this champion, let me know in the comments below. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if this is the first time you're seeing this face. I'm Briggs5D, and I'll see you in the next Raid Shadow Legends video. Good night.